So already we have discussed about the theoretical part of active voice and passive voice, and along with that we also discussed the practical part of active voice and passive voice right now. So now in this class once again we are going to make a practice of active voice and passive voice. Why? Because my dear students, what I want to convey the message to all of you that particularly for active voice and passive voice, so much of practice is required. Why? Because in that process only, after studying and after thorough of the theory of active voice and passive voice, we may not get some doubts, but in the process of practice only definitely we will get so many doubts, and by which we will be so clarified with the help of the knowledge of the theory. Why? Because active voice and passive voice is such a part and such a portion, everybody feels the doubt, though you are perfect in theory of active voice and passive voice. Clear na? So now we are going to discuss only the interrogative part of active voice and passive voice. Clear na? Yes. Now we will go one by one. Does the grocer sell sugar? Why? Because when you are writing in the examination, so you need not to mark like what I am doing right now. Just you have to mark those things in your brain only. So on the paper you need not to write it. So this is a subject, this is verb, and this is object. So this is a helping verb. So a helping verb is in the prefix place of a subject. This is the prefix place. This is suffix place. So helping verb is in the prefix place of a subject. So definitely this will be interrogative. Now you see how can we change. So this is an active voice. Now we are going to change this one this one to passive voice. So the active voice is an interrogative and your answer must be in interrogative only. So does the grocer sell sugar? Yes. Sugar. This is object. When it comes to here, automatically that becomes a subject. So right now, so sugar. So sugar before to in prefix place of the subject we have to write one helping verb. Then only either our answer or question must be in interrogative. Right now, so does. So this does indicates that this is in a simple present tense. This is in a simple present tense. So in simple present, if the helping verb is in simple present tense, if the main verb is in simple present tense, definitely we are having two helping verbs like is and are. Is and are. Is in singular, are should be used in a plural. Are should be used in a plural. Right now, so this is subject. If subject is singular, is should be used. If subject is plural, are should be used. Now you see your subject is in a singular. So what must be used? Is must be used. Is sugar, sell, you take that one to third form. Sell, sold, sold. Is sugar sold by the grocer? So this is subject, this is a helping verb. So a helping verb is in a prefix place of subject. So automatically that becomes a interrogative. Clear? Very clear? So this is the question. Will he not mend his ways? Now you decide and you divide the subject, verb and object in your brain only. So will he not mend? It is in a negative interrogative. Negative is different from interrogative. Negative sentence is different and interrogative is different. So this is subject, this is verb, this is object. So this is a helping verb. Helping verb is in a prefix place of a subject. So so automatically that becomes a interrogative. Now you see, will his ways, this is subject na. If it comes to here, Baba, if it comes to here, Babu, hello, తమ్ముడు, ఈ 2 పెన్నులు రాయడం లేదు చూడు. So will his ways is object. If it comes to here, automatically that becomes subject. So again, in an active voice we have helping verb and subject. When passive voice we must have helping verb and subject. Will his ways, not is there, so you also add not. Will his ways not mend, third form. You take this one to V3. Mend, mended. Will his ways not mended by he becomes him. This is object. He becomes a him. Right now. So will his ways not mended by him? So this is the way to do. Clear? Will he have written a letter? This is a helping verb. This is subject. This is also helping verb. Right now. So here is the confusion. You see, earlier I told you, with the theoretical knowledge, we can understand the subject up to 50% only. But in practice only, we can understand, we can gain the 100% knowledge regarding active voice and passive voice. It's clear? Will he have? Now, you may have a doubt that, sir, this is he is singular. So, you told me that to use singular helping verb, that is has with singular subject. He is a singular. So what you must have to use? Has. He has. But the thing is that just you go to tense part. In tense part we used this one, this one, this one. Subject I or we, he or she. Have plus V3. This is the pattern of the subject which we have discussed in tense part. Just you go to the tense part. So this is the construction. I or we have to use will or shall. He or she we have to use have. Have is come for he and for I and for we, for plural and for singular. For with the both the subjects we have to use helping this have helping verb only. That is the pattern of the subject. That is the pattern of the tense. Now you see, this is one helping verb. This is also another helping verb. So in some sentences we may have two helping verbs, no problem at all. So this is the verb. This is the object. So this object comes to here, a letter. When it comes to here, that becomes a subject. Subject will a letter. Now you see, will a letter has been written third form V3. By he becomes, this is object, this is preposition, this is V3, this is a helping verb, and this is also a helping verb. So this is the first helping verb. So we have to do the answer with the help of first only, first preference we have to do. So will a letter has been written by him, right? Now you see another one. So it's clear now. Here you also can write have. Here you also can write have. No issue. So will a letter, what is given? What is I told you na. So you need not to bring anything extra from outside. Just you have to change the places of the words which are given to you. So will a letter have been written by him? Why? Because this is on the based on the second rule. That is what in tenses we used have with a will or shall. So on that basis you can write. But here this is the subject. Subject is in singular. In in that in the on the basis of that rule you can write like this, no problem. Have, you have to write have. Now you see another type of another new model, that is open the door. Open the door. So this open is verb, door is object, subject is question. There is no subject, you don't have subject. So in absence of subjects, we have discussed about this type of sentence, how to do it. So there are three methods. One is open the door. If you think that this is an order, you have to write you are ordered for what? To open the door. You are ordered to open the door. And if it is you feel that it is suggested, open the door. Suppose that depends upon the delivery of the sentence. Open the door. That is an order. Open the door. It isn't requested. Just you open the door. That is suggestion. You are requested for what? To open the door. And another type, so you are confused whether it is an order or it is an requested, you are confused. So you have another method, that is just you keep let. Again the formula is same. Subject becomes object and object becomes subject and verb goes to third form. That is very common. Just you write let. And you take this one to here, let the door. So when you are writing let, you have to write here be. Let the door be open. V3. What is V3 of open? Opened. So let the door be opened. This is the method. So this is first method, this is second method, and this is a third method. Clear? How did you do this sum? How did you do the sum? It's clear? So this is the sentence based on two rules. On the basis of the first one, you kept interrogative mark. This is subject. This is a helping verb. This is main verb. You see, it is the confusion. Do is the main verb here. But that main verb is in past tense. How? The main verb is in the past tense because this is the helping verb. This helping verb tells something about the position of the main verb. What is the position of the main verb? Of course, without this you can say that it is in a simple present tense. But with this you cannot say that it is in simple present tense. It is in a simple past tense. Why? Because this is the past tense helping verb. This is the past tense This is the past tense helping verb. And moreover, this past tense helping verb tells something about the main verb that it is in a past tense. So, how did you do the sum? I told you na, with if you are given who, then automatically that becomes a whom. But whatever the sentence it may be, suppose to say how so now you are clear that your main verb is in a past tense. If it is in past tense, you have two helping verbs, that is was and were. I told you was in singular and were in plural. Clear na? So how was this sum? This is object. When it if it comes to here, how was the sum? This is subject. How was the sum? Now you take this one to V3. So do, did, done. How was the sum done by you only. So this is subject and this is a helping verb. So this helping verb is in a prefix place of a subject. Because of that, on the basis of that reason, you can put one interrogative mark at the end of the sentence. How was the sum done by you? Clear? So this is the way if your helping verb is in a past tense. So how was the sum done by you? Clear na? Have you finished your work? So this is a little bit of confusion one. So this is a subject, this is verb, and this is object. So now you see this is a helping verb which is in a prefix place of a subject. Now it is very clear. So it looks so simple. So this is the sentence. There are some sentences like this which looks so simple, but here you must be alert while you are changing the sentence from active voice to passive voice. Here the confusion point is that here what is given? Have. This is a helping verb. Have is given. Why have is given? Because of his convenience. Because of his convenience. Because here subject is a you. Because of his convenience, he used one helping verb, that is a have. But here the thing is that now you see this is your object na? So your object is your work. So that this is the word, this is object in active voice, but that becomes a subject in passive voice. Clear? Subject in the passive voice. Listen very carefully. Pay attention. So What is given here? Have. Why? Because of his convenience. Because of his convenience, he used one helping verb. Because of you, according to your convenience, you used one helping verb. But that one must be in a perfect helping verb. Because have finished. Have finished. It is in a present perfect. He used present perfect. In present perfect, and present perfect, we have two helping verbs like has and have. Like has and have. So he used one of the helping verb, that is have, because of his convenience. Because of your convenience, you used either this or this. Because either this or this. So this is in subject. Subject is in the singular. If it is in singular, what must be used? This one must be used. Has must be used. But the condition is that you are restricted to use either this one or this one on the basis of the subject. On the basis of the subject only. Right now? So on the basis of his convenience, on the basis of his subject, he used to have. On the basis of your subject is here, it is in singular. It is in a singular. So now you used has your work. What we have discussed, if it is a has, if it is a have, whatever that may be, along with these two, we have to use been. So has your work been finished? V3. What is V3 of finished? Finished. Finished, finished, finished. Finish, finished, finished. So has your work been finished? By you. This you comes to here. By you. This is subject. This is a helping verb. Helping verb is in a prefix place of subject. So automatically it becomes a interrogative. Right now? Can anybody cure me? This is subject. This is a helping verb. This is helping verb. Cure is verb and me is object. It's very clear. You have to do this bifurcation. Then only it will be easy to make the sentence or to convert the sentence from active voice to passive voice. That will be very easy. This is the easy method. So can anybody cure me? So here what you have, can. The same can will come. Can. That object becomes subject. Can I, if you use can, will, shall, could, will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, whatever the modal auxiliaries you use, you have to use along with those that B, can I be cured? You take this one to V3. Can I be cured? Can I be cured by anybody? You need not to write by, but as per the normal rules and regulations, what you the people are doing. So you the people are doing, can anybody? Can anybody? But here the thing is that, here the logic is that you need not to write can anybody. Why? Because even without writing this and even without this, you can understand that can I be cured by somebody, na? By somebody. So there you need not to write again by anybody. But no, the thing is that if you write like this, it will not be wrong. It will not be wrong. The teacher will not make it as wrong. But the thing is that you need not to write. Even if you write, that will be wrong. Right? So can I be cured? Can I be cured means by somebody, na? By somebody only I must be cured by taking one medicine, tablet or syrup or injection, whatever that may be. Somebody has to give. So here I am asking a question that can I be cured? Can I be cured? Can I be well by somebody? So there you need not to write again by anybody. But the thing is that if you write like this, it will not be wrong. But this is the right portion. Can I be cured? Even if you write like that, it will be right. Clear? The simple one is that who killed the snake? Killed verb, this is the object, this is a question mark, interrogative one. Who killed the snake? Here the thing is that the sentence here started with the WH. Sentence started with the WH. So because of that reason, you can write a interrogative mark. Right now? So I told you that if you are given who in the active voice, if it is a who only, then automatically that will be changed. But if you are given what, when, which, where, all these things, though those are started with WH, that will not be changed while you are coming from active voice to passive voice. But if it is a who, then your job starts, then your work starts. So by whom? Killed. It is in which tense? That you must know. I repeatedly warn you. I repeatedly ask you to be perfect candidate in tense part. Then entire English will be easy for you. Or otherwise, it will be very tough and very confused. Nobody can help you. Even God cannot help you. So by whom? Killed. Killed. It is in a past tense. Which past tense? Simple past tense. Simple past tense. So we have one option. We have a rule that if the verb is in a simple present tense, we are having two helping past tense helping verbs. Past tense helping verbs. That is was and were. That is was and were. So was should be used or were should be used. That depends upon the subject. Whether this one must be used and this one must be used. That depends upon the subject. That depends upon the subject. If subject is singular, was should be used. If subject is plural, where should be used. It's clear? Was should be used if the subject is singular. If subject is singular, was should be used. If subject is plural, where should be used. It's clear? This part is okay. Now you see whether your subject is singular or plural. Where is your subject? Where is your subject? Not for this sentence. For this sentence you don't have subject. But for this sentence you have subject. For passive voice. How? Because object in the active voice naturally becomes subject in the passive voice. Now you tell me, do you have subject or not? Of course, here you don't have subject, but here you have subject. It's clear? Now the snake is subject. Now you see whether your subject is singular or plural. Singular or plural. The snake is singular. So if subject is singular, what should be used? Was should be used. By whom was the snake killed? You take this one to V3. By whom was the snake killed? It's clear? Now you see here in this sentence the sentence started with the WH. Sentence started with the WH. But here, so on the basis of that reason you have written interrogative mark. But here in this sentence you see your sentence has not started with the WH, started with the B. But how you put this one? Because of the reason this is subject, this is a helping verb. So your helping verb is in a prefix place of a subject. So on the basis of this reason, on the basis of this clause, you can write a interrogative mark. It's clear? One should keep one's promises. One should keep one's promise. Of course, it is not interrogative, but it is a confused one. Because of that reason, I am going to say. So, one should keep one's promises. This is verb. This is subject. This is a helping verb. And this is object. It's is very plain sentence. It is a plain sentence, but it is the sentence that is in which group? Omission of by. So here you need not to write by. That means once promises. What is used here? Should. I told you, if it is should, that becomes should be. If it is can, if that becomes can be. If it is will be. Shall be. Can be. Would be. Like that. So once promises should be keep. What is the V3 of keep? Keep, kept. Once promise, not ONCE. ONCE, once means long time. Once upon a time, that means very long time. Once means one S, that is apostrophe S. So once promises should be kept by, you need not to write one. You need not to write one. Why? Because this is the word which is repeated here. Once promises should be kept by one, you need not to write. So once promises should be kept. This is the simple way. So this is active voice and this is passive voice. Clear? So we have touched regard to this part and regard to this portion, we have touched from basic levels. That is, we have touched the tense part, tense board, simple present tense. If your sentence is in simple present tense, how you have to do. If it is in simple past, how you have to do. If it is in simple present tense, how you have to do. If it is in simple past tense, how. If it is in simple future, I told you. If it is in present continuous, I told you. If it is in past continuous, I told you. If it is present perfect and past perfect, we have completed this part. And we also, this is the first one. And we also completed without a subject. If active voice is given, if active voice is given, if active voice is given without subject, how we have to do. And double object, We also completed this part and this part, double object, and we also completed if the interrogative and omission of a preposition. Omission of preposition. What is that preposition? Only one preposition. Only one preposition to be used. That is by. That is a by. So we have completed this part, and if there is no subject in active voice, how can we do? If there are two objects in active voice, how we have to do? If the active voice is in an interrogative, how we have to do? Omission of by. There are some sentences in which by need not to be used. I told you that by need not to be used, but I am not telling you that by should not be used. There is a difference between need not to be used and should not be used. Should not be used, that means you are totally restricted. You are totally controlled not to use by. But here I am telling you that in those sentences, by need not to be used. You need not. But you may say, sir, no sir, I will write by. Yes, you write, no issue. I will write by. So once again, going back to the example. The sentence is that the postman delivers the letters. This is an active voice. So I will convert this sentence to passive voice like this. The letters are delivered by the postman. By the postman. So one can do like this, and you can do according to your convenience. The letters are delivered. You need not to write here by the postman. By the postman. Even if you don't write by the postman, one can understand that by whom the letters are delivered? By the postman. It is common thing. But someone may write like this, by the postman. Even if you write like this, it will be right. Even if you write like this, it will be right. So there you need not to write a by. Clear? Fine. So with this, your active voice and passive voice portion is over, with a theory and a practice. Clear? So next in the next class we will start another topic. Clear? Very good.